Well, guys, this is it. This is the aftermath from Typhoon Odette. I believe it was a Category 5 typhoon that hit us here in Bohol, Philippines. Fucking wiped us out. Been in the pit for 5.5 weeks now. So behind me is some of the... This is 5.5 weeks after, so this is after a lot of cleanup actually, but... Let me see if I can switch this around. So, you know, this used to be pretty lush. We had beautiful gardens in the front yard, side yard. We were surrounded by beautiful, thick, lush jungles on 3 sides, really. You used to not be able to even see through here. You couldn't see the sunset. The trees were so tall and it was nice. It kept it cool, kind of gave us some shelter. But a bunch of trees fell and several others had to be cut just to keep things safe. You know, thank goodness this was plastic, so we've had the roof fixed. It was totally smashed up. We had a big branch from a tree in the front that fell only on the patio, thank goodness. But everything around here is just a mess. There's our old roof out there, decimated. Months of cleanup to do. There was a giant tree back here that fell. Some branches destroyed our chicken coop. All the chickens escaped. You could see the stump remaining there of a tree that was about at least 100 feet tall. I was so worried that it was going to fall at the house, and thank God it fell away from the house. But the main thing, so that was from about, I don't know, 9 p.m. until 11 p.m. was just hearing all this crazy wind circling around us at, I believe, nearly 180 miles per hour. And terrified that some of those big trees in the back would fall against the house, against my son's bedroom. There's my old banner for the business, which is no more. This used to be, my garden. I was raising all kinds of veggies, greens, and we actually, all these rocks were from a pile here for, you know, construction purposes, landscaping purposes. And so about 11, the sound changed, and this is actually a lot cleaned up now. The sound changed. I was hearing the metal roof on the office flapping. There's some damage out there. But about 11 p.m., I believe, I swore, I was like, that's not the same sound. What is that? That's water, rushing water. So I finally came out. We were terrified to even open the doors, but I finally came out here just to have a look. It was so pitch black because the power's been out ever since. We still don't have electricity after 5.5 weeks here. But there was so much. You could see how we're down about 3-4 feet from the road. There was so much water rushing in to our front gate. You know, it always drains a little bit when it rains heavy, when we have storms. But I had never seen this before. This whole space from the fence all the way across the yard up to just at the brim of the 3rd step here. Thank God it didn't come further. Otherwise, it would have started going into the actual house. So the house was, I mean, I was so terrified. I've never been as afraid for my life, but more my kids' safety. But this whole area was overflowing. Thankfully, it didn't quite run up over the entire patio. But it's about 35 feet all the way up to the 2nd step here. It was rushing, I kid you not, like a rushing river with rapids and everything. It carried some giant stones all the way to the corner of the yard. It ripped up all that grass. There were trees and, tree stumps and debris. They all were stacking up on the gate. Finally, in the middle of the night, I heard the gate snap open and all this stuff came. So it was flowing like a raging river all the way across here. Thankfully, it goes down into the gully out here. Thankfully, it came up right to the brim there and it didn't come any higher. But yeah, this is after we've actually cleaned up quite a bit and rearranged things. But my garden is pretty much, everything that is left is windblown, but all my edible foods are dead. This was a giant divot just from, this is like a piece of a coconut tree. All this stuff was just hitting here, eroding. You can see how the road is raised a little bit. And thankfully over here was okay, but middle of the night I was like, I better get into the office. And let's see if it's gonna be hard to see in here because still no electric, but you can see the broken glass. I hope you can. The water was so intense, it shattered this front glass window, doorway really. You can see I'm afraid to even mess with this because the whole thing is sliding down already. But all our signage is destroyed, the front glass is destroyed. I came in here, the water was already up to about, I would say at least 3.5 feet, to my thigh. My bookcase that was here before was half destroyed. When I had to push to get this door open because of all the water pressure in here. And thank God, I'm glad I did at the moment I did, because I was able to salvage some of the computers and things. But we gave away the 2 other desks that were in good shape because they didn't have like a lower portion like mine. A lot of the furniture was destroyed. All our chairs were destroyed and just drenched in shit water because we got the septic tank that was anyway. Bunch of my books were destroyed. Most of them, well, about half of the library literally got washed out when I opened up the door. And it was so much water, it did damage to the wall here. It's just real cheap press board really, but it pushed out the whole wall. So thankfully the place stood, it remained standing, but there's a lot of water damage to the ceiling and the walls, the electric. Yeah, we lost at least half of our furniture. Half my books floated out. Thank God the chickens, they're over there somewhere. Some of the chickens survived. This used to be all lush garden. We had a big, beautiful bush, and this tree fell over and died. Just pushed it back up to get it out of the way, but half our garden is gone. Like I say, this tree was full, and we had one branch fall on the patio. Thankfully, didn't destroy the frame, but had to have all of that removed. Half of the jungle's gone, and it's just a mess out here now. So, yeah, thank God everyone was safe. Thank God the home was very sturdy, but the office was wrecked. Like I say, I lost half of my, library and tools and resources in there. Thank God I salvaged some things because I went in when I did, although it was just fucking terrifying to even be out here in that wind, and just I was beyond drenched, wading through 3 feet of water, not knowing what was in the water. We haven't had electric for 5.5 weeks, and we're not sure when it'll come back. We didn't have running water for at least, I think, almost 3 weeks. So that was a real pain in the ass, having to carry. Sadly, we didn't have a reservoir, like a backup tank here. But our neighbors have rainwater, so we were having to lug rainwater by hand all day, every day, just to use the bathroom, just to, you know, do basic things. But it was in the moment of it, you know. We were in the eye of the hurricane, and it was absolutely terrifying. Funny enough, you know, I kept hearing that flapping sheet metal, and I was looking out the window, and I couldn't see a thing because it's pitch black. You know, there was no moon, no electric across the whole island in the middle of the storm. And but in my mind, I was just terrified. I was afraid that the metal roof was going to peel off of our office and come flying right at the house into the windows. So I took the whole family at one point, and we just moved everybody onto a mattress in the center of the main room. Just slept together through the storm. Thank goodness both kids slept through most of it. I don't know how, but I could not sleep that night. I was just up, honestly, praying to God the whole time. You know, just I said, you could take my car, my motorbike, my office, my business, take everything, but, you know, just keep my kids safe. And I was really afraid for my life too, but mostly I just sat up protecting the kids, watching after everything, and we made it through. But he took most everything. The business was just obliterated. And, you know, I don't know, but I'd say we probably have at least 20,000. You know, prices out here are real cheap too, but I think it's safe to say we have at least 20,000, maybe 30 in dollars worth of investments that we've made in this home, in the office, in our business, in this place, in our team, and it's all just literally washed away in the great flood. So that was our holidays. That was right before Christmas and New Year's, and I'm grateful. I have a very good friend who is owns a hotel nearby, so finally we moved the kids there to actually enjoy Christmas and the holidays, and at least life has been a little easier. But as if all that wasn't enough, you know, they're really getting strict. They're going into another lockdown out here, and I'm just so tired of the threats, the tyranny, authoritarianism, and nobody stands up, nobody pushes back. And as a guest here, I'm not allowed to say anything, so you didn't hear me even speak of it. But I'm tired, and after losing everything, I take that as a sign from God. It's time to go. So we're leaving. So we're packing up and we're leaving everything behind us. We actually feel the urgency to get out as quick as we can, so we're leaving behind a whole bunch of things. Like I said, at least 20-30 grand invested, and I don't know if we'll see any return on that, but it's time to go. Put my kids in a safer, more prosperous place, more free. So I look forward to getting back to my own culture, and hopefully see some of you guys on the East Coast soon. I think we'll try to do the homestead life there. But anyway, yeah, that's where we're at. The Hero Foundry is no more. Well, the Hero Lab at least is no more. The Hero Foundry, I don't know. We'll see if we can pivot for the 5th time in a row. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, just endless bad news, endless accidents and emergencies, one after another. I'm leaving out about 80% of the story, actually. We were in an accident a couple days after. I was assaulted, threatened by someone who I used to think was a friend, a close friend, so that broke my heart and led to falling out with some of my team that I'd been building here. Spent the last 4 or 5 months training them, and so it's all gone. It's all gone. Strangely, it all just burned to the ground. Took me 3 years to pivot. Well, I guess 2 years after COVID, because I'd originally intended to open this place as a co-working spot for nomads and business travelers. We had 1 million visitors a year. It was we just had our international airport opened here in Bohol in 2019. I did my homework and I thought, yeah, this is a great place. I had 2 events scheduled for 2020 that we had to cancel, but so it took me 2 years to pivot again and focus on training Filipinos here and giving them some business skills, sales, marketing, online skills. And that's what I've been dedicating myself to for the last couple of months before the storm. But yeah, it just, whatever. I plan, God laughs. So we'll give it another shot in the US. Didn't work last time, but we'll see what happens. But pray for us. Send me your thoughts. If you're in California, Arizona, Texas, or North or South Carolina, let me know, because I think at some point in the next couple months we'll be doing a little bit of a cross-country road trip and looking for our new home. I think we know where we're going, but we're going to check out a few spots. So hope you all are doing well wherever you are. Man, did not see that coming. I hope you don't get hit by any Category 5 typhoons or hurricanes anytime soon, but I need to get out of this place, this mental space. Anyway, thanks for your good thoughts and your prayers, guys, and talk to you soon.